picture this. You're sitting on your couch, scrolling on your phone.
Right.
You see something you want, you tap buy now. And you just completely expect that item to be sitting on your doorstep by tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, we all do it.
Exactly. We all do it. And you don't even think about the physical reality of how that object is going to get from like a manufacturing plant across the entire country and onto your porch in a matter of hours.
It really does just feel like magic.
It totally feels like magic.
Mm.
But today we are actually looking at the real high-speed invisible machinery that makes our modern instant delivery economy possible. We're doing a deep dive, pulling insights from a comprehensive industry outlook. It's titled Modern Logistics: The Warehousing and Cross-Docking Outlook 2026 to 2035.
Yes.
And our mission for this deep dive is to unpack exactly how the world moves in 2026. Because that magic you feel when the box arrives, it's actually a massive, highly choreographed physical operation.
It is. And, to really understand the sheer scale of this operation, you have to look at the raw consumer data that's driving it. Nearly 70% of consumers now expect same-day or next-day delivery.
Wow, 70%. That's huge.
It's massive, and that single statistic essentially forced a complete architectural evolution of the global supply chain. I mean, the logistics industry couldn't just tell their forklift drivers to, drive a little faster.
Yeah, just step on the gas a bit.
Right, exactly. They had to completely reinvent how physical goods flow across continents just to survive that kind of unrelenting consumer demand.
Okay, let's unpack this. We know why the physical world had to change because, well, you and I were impatient and we want our stuff immediately.
Fair enough.
But we need to define what that physical change actually looks like on the ground. Like, before we can tear the engine apart, see how it works, we need to know the basic parts.
Makes sense.
So we are looking at two main concepts today. You have traditional warehousing and then modern cross-docking. Think about traditional warehousing as like a giant kitchen pantry.
A giant pantry, okay.
Yeah, you go to the grocery store, you buy bulk items, you bring them home, and you store them on the shelves. They just sit there in the dark waiting for weeks or months until you actually need them. A warehouse historically does that, just on a massive scale. It's a static environment. It's focused on storing, picking, packing, sorting, and consolidating.
Right.
But cross-docking is entirely different. Cross-docking is a relay race.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you aren't putting the baton on a shelf to gather dust. The moment the first runner enters the zone, they pass the baton directly to the next runner, who just takes off. The baton never stops moving.
I love that relay race analogy, because building on that, the entire infrastructure of a cross-docking facility is engineered around constant velocity.
So they aren't storing anything.
You aren't storing goods at all, no. Instead, an inbound truck arrives at a loading dock. The products are unloaded, they are rapidly sorted on the floor, and then transferred directly to outbound trucks waiting at docks on the exact opposite side of the building.
Just straight across the building.
Straight across. And the ultimate metric that dictates success or failure here is time. In a true cross-docking operation, that entire physical process, receiving thousands of items, sorting them by destination, and loading them onto new trucks, it happens in less than 4 hours.
Wait, a 4-hour window.
Under 4 hours. Yeah.
To unload a massive 53-foot trailer, figure out where every single box goes, and physically repack everything onto like a dozen different outbound trucks.
That's the standard.
But if everything is just a relay race, isn't it incredibly risky to not have a safety net of stored inventory? I mean, what if his supplier is late? Or what if a truck blows a tire on the highway?
Oh, it's incredibly risky.
Right, because in a pantry model, if a delivery is late, you just go pull a backup box off the shelf. But in a relay race, if the first runner trips, the second runner is just standing there with an empty hand. The whole supply chain snaps.
The chain absolutely snaps, which is exactly why cross-docking requires total supplier reliability and flawless coordination. If the inbound data is inaccurate, like if a truck arrives and the boxes inside don't perfectly match the digital manifest, that 4-hour window is instantly blown.
Oh, wow.
And those cascading delays, they cost thousands of dollars a minute.
Thousands a minute. So why even do it? Why take the risk?
Well, to understand why companies take that intense risk, you really have to look at the punishing costs of the pantry model. Traditional warehousing just burns through capital.
Because of the space.
Space, yes. You are paying leases on massive real estate footprints, you're paying heavy labor costs, and most importantly, you are paying the holding cost of the inventory itself. Every single product sitting on a shelf is trapped cash.
That makes total sense.
Plus, you run the massive risk of overstocking items that suddenly go out of style, which dramatically reduces your overall efficiency and profit margin.
Right, like if you buy 1,000 cans of soup for the pantry and suddenly nobody wants soup, your money is just trapped in aluminum cans gathering dust.
Exactly, dead inventory.
So companies can't afford the massive holding costs of the pantry, but the pure relay race is terrifyingly fragile.
Right. And this is why the 2026 reality is entirely built around the hybrid logistics model.
Okay, the hybrid model.
Companies do not choose exclusively between the pantry or the relay race anymore. They operate both simultaneously within the exact same network. They segment their inventory.
So they sort it based on how fast it sells.
Exactly. They take slow-moving or highly unpredictable goods like seasonal items or niche replacement parts and route those into traditional warehousing setups. The
Now,
pantry.
put it on the shelf.
Right. But for fast-moving, high-demand goods, the everyday essentials and viral products that everyone is, constantly clicking buy now on, they run the relay race. They route those high-velocity items strictly through cross-docking channels.
So what does this all mean financially? Because the shift toward this hybrid model has to be massive.
Oh, it's explosive.
I mean, looking at the report, the global cross-docking market alone was valued at $225 billion in 2025.
Yeah.
And now, looking at the trajectory toward 2035, it is zooming toward $400 billion.
It's incredible.
That is astronomical foundational growth. But if companies are running this really complex hybrid system under one roof, measuring success becomes incredibly complicated, right? You obviously can't judge a static pantry the exact same way you judge an Olympic sprinter.
No, not at all. You have to utilize entirely different key performance indicators or KPIs for each side of the house.
Okay.
For the cross-docking operations, success lives and dies by three main metrics.
What are they?
First, dock time must remain firmly under that 4-hour mark.
Right.
Second, they demand accuracy rates above 99%.
99%.
Yes. And third, high door utilization. A loading dock door is essentially a revenue generator. If a door is empty or if the truck is just sitting there idling instead of actively moving boxes, the facility is literally bleeding money.
Wow. And what about the other side, the pantry side?
On the other side of the hybrid model, warehousing success is judged by inventory turnover rates. So, how many times a year you can completely clear and restock your shelves, along with maximizing vertical space utilization. How high you could stack it.
Got it.
But across both models, the modern era is no longer judged just by raw volume. It's entirely about velocity and precision.
Okay, let's pause and really look at those cross-docking numbers. Because a 99% accuracy rate within a 4-hour window, while dozens of trucks are constantly swapping out at the loading docks, that defies human physical limits.
It really does.
I mean, a team of humans with clipboards and walkie-talkies cannot possibly pull off that kind of spatial math and physical coordination at that speed without making constant mistakes. How are they physically moving the boxes?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the physical movement is actually secondary to the data movement.
To data movement.
Yes.
Okay.
The master control centers of these logistics networks are the warehouse management systems, the WMS and transportation management systems, the TMS.
WMS and TMS.
Exactly. These software platforms are coordinating the inbound shipments, the facility floor mapping, and the outbound trucking schedules with a level of digital precision that strictly dictates every physical action on the floor.
It's like having artificial intelligence act as a psychic air traffic controller.
That's a great way to put it.
And I don't use the word psychic lightly. The report says AI-powered systems are forecasting demand, optimizing delivery routes, and actually predicting potential disruptions before they manifest in the real world.
Yes, before they even happen.
It's pulling in live weather data, traffic patterns, and port congestion reports. Like if it realizes a storm in the Pacific means a cargo ship of electronics is going to be delayed, the AI automatically reroutes domestic trucks on the East Coast to compensate for that bottleneck before the storm even makes landfall.
It's mind-blowing. That predictive capability is the brain. And when you move down to the physical tools on the warehouse floor, you see the muscle. The reliance on autonomous mobile robots, or AMRs, is just staggering.
AMRs, so actual robots.
Actual robots. Instead of a human driving a forklift back and forth all day, you have a swarm of automated robots navigating the floor.
Oh, wow.
You also have RFID tracking radio frequency identification. So when a pallet comes off a truck, an RFID scanner instantly reads its tag. That tag pings the WMS, and the system instantly calculates which outbound truck that pallet needs to reach.
In real time.
Milliseconds, and it immediately dispatches an AMR. The robot slides under the pallet, autonomously navigates through the facility, dodging other robots and human workers to deliver it to Dock B in a matter of seconds.
That's wild.
These integrated physical tools drastically reduce manual labor costs. They eliminate the human mathematical errors required to hit that 99% accuracy mark, and they drastically increase the physical throughput of the entire building.
Okay, I have to play the skeptic for a second here.
Go for it.
Because this paints a beautiful, frictionless sci-fi utopia. Robots humming along in perfect harmony, AI predicting the future, everything arriving in under 4 hours. But you cannot simply back a truck full of robots up to a 40-year-old concrete warehouse with uneven floors and expect this to work. It can't be that easy to set up.
No, you're totally right. And the integration hurdle is actually the single biggest risk factor in the industry right now.
I would imagine.
It requires vast amounts of upfront capital to purchase the hardware, obviously. But the technical complexity is what truly paralyzes companies. You are trying to make a legacy supply chain, often built on antiquated software from the 1990s, communicate flawlessly with an AI-driven autonomous robot fleet.
Which sounds like a nightmare.
It is. If a company's historical data isn't perfectly clean, the AI learns from bad data and makes flawed predictions. If the WMS miscalculates an inbound manifest by even a few boxes, the AMRs carry the wrong pallets to the wrong outbound trucks, and that 4-hour operational window completely shatters.
Where the relay baton gets dropped. But despite the massive upfront costs and those integration nightmares, the market is doubling in size, which means companies are paying for it because it works. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
When you look at who actually benefits from this technological overhaul, it isn't just a faceless mega corporation padding its bottom line. The efficiency ripples out to affect real human stakeholders across the globe.
It really does. The carriers and the truck drivers are a prime example of that ripple effect.
How so?
Well, in a legacy system, a driver might back into a dock and just sit in the cab for 5 hours unpaid, waiting for a human crew to manually unload and reload their trailer.
5 hours unpaid. That's brutal.
It's terrible. But with cross-docking, the industry utilizes drop-and-hook operations. The driver drops off a full trailer, instantly hooks up to a preloaded outbound trailer, and just drives away.
Oh, that's so much better.
That vastly faster turnaround means they can complete more trips per week, which directly translates to better earnings. Then you look at the brokers and the shippers. They see massive cost savings through load consolidation.
Load consolidation.
Yeah, so if a shipper only has enough goods to fill half a truck, modern cross-docking algorithms match them with another half-empty shipment going to the exact same city. They split the cost, and nobody pays to ship empty air.
That is so smart. And you have third-party logistics companies, the 3PLs, acting as the service providers in the middle of all this. They gain incredible scalability.
Definitely.
Because they are routing goods through flow-through centers, rather than paying to heat, cool, and lease massive million-square-foot static storage facilities, they can handle significantly higher volumes without a proportional increase in their operational footprint.
Right.
And finally, the researchers and analysts.
Yeah.
Because every single RFID ping, every robot movement, and every truck route is digitized, the system throws off mountains of valuable data. Analysts feed that data back into the AI to build even tighter optimization models. It's just a continuous self-improving feedback loop.
It is. We are talking about massive digital and physical ecosystems here. But, you have to look at how this plays out geographically, too.
Oh, for sure. Because the world isn't flat.
Exactly. The global supply chain doesn't operate over a single uniform landscape. Infrastructure varies wildly from continent to continent. Looking at the landscape heading toward 2035, the United States is the undisputed pioneer.
That makes sense.
They possess the most advanced market for this hybrid warehousing and cross-docking model. Currently, over half of all retailers in the US leverage cross-docking to satisfy those intense fast delivery consumer expectations. And they're supported by a massive existing highway infrastructure and a hyper-competitive domestic tech sector.
Right, and when you look at North America as a whole, Canada is essentially operating as an extension of that ecosystem.
Yep, very closely tied.
Their industry is deeply integrated with the U.S., heavily benefiting from highly efficient, tech-enabled cross-border trade networks. That's what allows those 4-hour relay races to cross international lines without hitting customs bottlenecks. But when you cross the Atlantic, the priorities completely shift.
They really do. Europe is aggressively adopting this automation, but their unique driving force is actually sustainability.
Not just speed.
Not just speed. Due to much stricter continental emissions regulations, European logistics networks are utilizing these advanced systems to implement green logistics. They use the AI to optimize routing for electric delivery fleets, and they design these highly automated flow-through hubs to be incredibly energy efficient.
That's amazing.
Yeah, for Europe, automation isn't exclusively about raw speed. It's a vital tool for drastically reducing the carbon footprint of their entire supply chain.
I love that. Different regulatory environments adapt the exact same robotics and AI to solve entirely different problems.
Exactly.
And then you have Africa, which the report highlights as an incredibly exciting emerging frontier.
Yes, Africa is fascinating in this space.
They face significant physical infrastructure hurdles, like inconsistent power grids or a lack of massive legacy highway networks, things that the US or Europe might not deal with on the same scale. But they are overcoming that by leapfrogging the old model.
Right, skipping steps.
Exactly. Instead of spending decades building giant static warehouses, they are pouring heavy investment directly into mobile digital platforms and agile transportation networks.
Right.
They're basically skipping the pantry phase of logistics entirely and building purely digital relay races from the ground up.
Which is incredible, but, it requires immense corporate firepower to orchestrate these systems on a global scale. You are seeing specific titans dictate the pace of this evolution.
Who are the big players here?
Well, companies like DHL Supply Chain leverage their massive global footprint to create standardized flow-through templates across dozens of countries.
Right. DHL is everywhere.
Everywhere. Then you have XPO Logistics, who are renowned for their aggressive proprietary tech-driven approach to automation. Ryder System dominates the physical fleet management side, ensuring the trucks quite literally never stop moving.
Got it.
UPS Supply Chain Solutions provides massive end-to-end global visibility. And C.H. Robinson utilizes their sheer dominance in freight brokerage to connect all the disjointed shippers and carriers into one cohesive network.
But those physical titans still rely on the specialized software backbones to make it all work, right?
Absolutely.
Like platforms such as Magaya, Carton Cloud, and Transplus. These are the systems operating under the hood, providing the crucial APIs that allow a 1990s legacy trucking manifest to actually talk to an AI-driven robot fleet without crashing the entire system.
Spot on. And when you synthesize all of this, the shift from static pantries to 4-hour relay races, the integration of autonomous robots, the global push towards sustainability, the digital leapfrogging, a singular truth emerges about the direction the global economy is heading into 2035.
What's the main takeaway?
The ultimate goal across the entire industry is turning traditional warehouses into flow-through hubs. The supply chain is definitively prioritizing continuous movement over static storage. That is the defining philosophy of modern logistics.
It completely changes how you look at the physical world. I mean, the next time you click Buy Now and a package miraculously arrives at your door overnight, you'll know it wasn't just sitting quietly on a dusty shelf for 6 months waiting for you to want it.
No, definitely not.
It likely ran a high-speed, AI-choreographed, robot-assisted 4-hour relay race across a massive flow-through hub just to get into your hands. It's an invisible, global symphony of movement.
It really is a profound marvel of engineering. But if we connect all these facts and look strictly at the trajectory of this 2026 to 2035 outlook, it raises a really critical question for all of us.
What is that?
If the entire logistics world is evolving to ruthlessly eliminate storage in favor of pure high-speed movement, what happens when the next massive, unforeseen global disruption hits?
Oh.
If the pantry is completely empty because every single box is always in motion on the relay track, how incredibly vulnerable does our obsession with instant delivery make the entire global supply chain?
Wow. An empty pantry when the storm hits.
Exactly.
That is a chilling thought, and definitely something to chew on the next time you tap that Buy Now button.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the hidden machinery of the modern world. Keep questioning the invisible systems all around you.